All right, good.
Okay. I hereby call to order this meeting of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission. Today is January the 8th, 2020, and the time is 10:01 a.m. With those commissioners that are in attendance, please identify themselves and state as to whether they're here in person or via telephone.
Participate by telephone.
And I'm Scott Fletcher, and I am here in person. Item B is our license applications. B1 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228A, B, and E, and 229. The new license application submitted by Scott Coker, doing business as Bellator Sport Worldwide, LLC, for a 2020 promoter's license. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to Mr. Coker's application, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Coker, Bellator submitted all the required paperwork that we've asked for and that we've extended to other promotions that are coming in that are worldwide recognized. There has been nothing of concern that we saw in there. There was two things that were noted as very small tax liens that were not of concern that should preclude him. This is a $4 billion estimated company. And so they are looking at getting licensed to possibly pursue having a date here in 2020. I don't think we have an actual date yet. Bellator is represented on the phone by George. Sorry, George, I don't have your last name.
Last name Pineda.
George Pineda. And what do you do with Bellator, sir?
Senior Director of Business and Legal Affairs.
Alrighty. So they submitted everything, and we have nothing further to add, and we do recommend that we do approve them.
Terrific. Thank you. Mr. Pineda, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you chiming in. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts, questions for Mr. Pineda?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not. I'm just hoping that Bellator will be able to come back to Arizona fairly soon, hopefully after the middle of April, so I can attend. But otherwise, I have no questions.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Pineda, we're excited to have you back. It's been a few years. I think we were at GCU last time. We did an event with you all that did very well, I thought, and we're excited to have you back. Have you given thought to venues or dates or anything as yet?
Yeah, no, it has been quite some time, since 2014 to be exact. We've not yet made any commitments as far as the venue that we'll be hosting the event in, but this will be, when we do return, and it looks like it's going to happen during the first half of this year at some point. It's going to be a pretty significant event. You know, we've got a pretty good base of talent that's located in Arizona. Ryan Bader and Benson Henderson being two of the bigger names, so we're looking to bring a pretty good event in 2020.
Fantastic. Yeah, those gentlemen have lots of friends in town that can help populate cards too. So we're excited to have you back, and we'd like to fill a room and put on a show with you when you're ready to go.
Great.
The chair would be open to a motion if there is one, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant a new license application for Scott Coker doing business as Bellator Sports Worldwide for a 2020 promoter's license pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, A, B, E, and 5-229.
Very good. We have a motion. I will second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Real quick, I heard some more people jumping on the line. This is for the Boxing and MMA Commission. If you are looking for another meeting, you are on the wrong call. This is for Boxing and MMA only.
Thank you. Mr. Pineda, thank you so much for calling in. Take care. We look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Thank you very much. Look forward to working with you all.
Yep. Take care now. Item B2 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 5-228 A, B, and E, and 5-229, the renewal license application submitted by Roberto Vargas, doing business as Iron Boy Promotions. This is a 2020 promoter's license. Mr. Vargas, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Good, good.
It's a brand new year.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and we're ready to go.
Hot dog. Mr. Meneses, will you speak, please, to Mr. Vargas's application?
Yes, sir. Mr. Vargas is Arizona's largest local promoter of both boxing and MMA. Most recently, he co-promoted the Matchroom Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Daniel Jacobs bout that we had on December 20th, which was a very successful event with approximately 11,000 boxing fans in attendance at Talking Stick. Mr. Vargas continues to have good quality events each month, and he's already submitted a schedule for approximately 11 events for the year of 2020, alternating each month starting in February between boxing and MMA. He has submitted all the required paperwork and all the required financials, and I have no further objections and recommend that we should approve Mr. Vargas for a 2020 promoter's license.
Thank you, Mr. Meneses. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts or questions for Mr. Vargas?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not. I just want to commend Mr. Vargas for all of the events, both boxing and MMA, that he has held in Arizona. I know he does promotion out of the state of Arizona as well. And all of the events that I have attended have been excellent. So I just commend Mr. Vargas for the hard work that he's put in and the growth that he's exhibited over the last several years.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Iron Boy's the life's blood of what happens in the state, and we appreciate everything you've done. I had some time to talk with Eddie Hearn. He said that you helped immensely in pulling that card together. So thank you for everything you do. I'm excited you've got big plans for the coming year.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for always supporting, combat sports in Arizona. I mean, we're going to continue working on putting us in a big stage and for big promoters to come out here like Bellator, UFC, and Top Rank and Eddie Hearn and all those guys. So, everybody's hopefully, we can get, in that level and competing with other states in the near future.
That's where we want to be.
Yeah.
Thank you. The chair would be open to a motion if there is one, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant a renewal license application for Roberto Vargas, doing business as Iron Boy Promotions, for a 2020 promoter's license pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228A, B, E, and 5-229.
We have a motion. I am going to second that motion. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Looking forward to a fun year. B3 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228A, and AAC R19-2-C609, the renewal license application submitted by Yang Pan, doing business as Arizona Sonda Association, for a 2020 outside sanctioning body license. Mr. Pan, how are you this morning?
Good, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you coming down. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to this application, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Pan is returning after having a successful first year as an outside sanctioning body overseeing the sport of Sonda here in Arizona. Mr. Pan has decided to work on doing what would you call that? World Championship in 2021. In which, matter of fact, I'm just going to let you speak to it. Can you tell us about the event, how big it is, and what you're looking at doing?
It's actually the parent sport of Sanda is actually called Wushu, Chinese martial arts. It's a world championship. This year was actually last year in China, Shanghai, China.
Mr. Chairman,
Just come a little closer.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Meneses, would you ask Mr. Pond to please step forward or speak up a little louder? I can't hear him.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no problem. So the World Championship is actually the parent martial arts of Sanda. It's called Wushu, Chinese martial arts. Last year we had our 15th World Championship in Shanghai, China. That's basically the largest Chinese martial arts event in the history and in the world. And we're looking for next year. Next event will be 2021 in the United States. And now we currently have beating cities of Dallas, Las Vegas, DC, and us. So that's something we really want. I really want to host that in Phoenix, Arizona, but we're in that process and trying to get that bid.
From what Mr. Pan has described to me on private conversations, this is essentially the Olympics of Sonda, and
Yes, sir.
they alternate and go to between different countries, and it's a very large draw. So he is now that he's established in Arizona, he would like to try to compete for the bid to have Arizona be the host of the 2020 World Championship. 2021 World Championship here in Arizona. So we're going to support him to see how we can try to help make that happen as well. But I haven't made out to one of his events last year, but I do plan to go to some of his events this year. He's got about 3 or so that he's going to have going on, and they've done great so far, and they were all very safe events. We were able to have open communication, and he submitted all of his paperwork regularly on time after his events, and his bout cards and the suspensions were up to date. He has submitted all of his required paperwork for the commission, and so I recommend that we approve him for another 2020 outside sanctioning body license.
Thank you. Thank you both. Commissioner, questions, thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, I'm comfortable here. I have no questions.
Very good. I just have one statement. Thank you. Thank you for being thorough and approaching this in the right way. You were new to us not that long ago, and we're somewhat cautious, and we're impressed with how you run things, and it's important to us.
Without the support from the commission.
Well, thank you, and we look forward to your future events. I've got to get out to some too, so
Please.
let's get some dates going here. First, I'm probably putting the cart before the horse. Commissioner, is there a motion by chance?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I move that we grant a renewal license application for a 2020 outside sanctioning body to Mr. John Pan, doing business as Arizona Sandai Association, pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228A, and ACC R19-2-C609. So I guess that's my motion.
I guess it is.
Number 3.
We have a motion. I'm going to second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Young. Thank you so much, Mr. Pond. Take care now. Let's move forward. Mr. Meneses is going to be in need of a tissue soon. So
I know.
Let's press on. C is our event reports. Review, discussion, and possible action on the following event reports. The following events were approved by the Executive Director from December 18th, 2019 to January 7th, 2020. Item 1 is request from the World Fighting Federation for approval of the following MMA events to be held at A, the Finley Toyota Center in Prescott Valley, Arizona on April 4th, 2020, and B, the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona on August 29th, 2020. Fantastic. Mr. Meneses.
Yeah, not much to say on those. We're still getting more event requests coming in. Our calendar's starting to already fill up for 2020. If you haven't, I don't think either one of you guys had a chance to go to the Finley Toyota Center last time, but I would definitely encourage you to see if you can make it. This is our first time last year, Finley Toyota Center, and for WFF, it was a really quality production. It looked like a televised card. This venue was beautiful. The staff up there was great, and the way they did it really, really looked really nice, and it all came together and looked like a very high-profile show. So I would definitely recommend, if you guys are able to, come on up and check it out. And then Celebrity Theater is working with several promoters besides WFF and Ruff. Sounds like Iron Boy might be also negotiating some events there, so that'll keep us busy at Celebrity. And Celebrity is a small venue, but it's also a great venue for these local club shows.
No doubt. Thank you. Commissioner, any thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy here.
Very good. The Toyota Center is a great venue. I have been to shows there in the past,
Okay.
and I'm just glad to see it continues to get on the calendar, because that town supports events there really well, and it's a great.
They had a
kind of
good turnout
mid-size, yeah.
last year, so
No, it's a good spot.
maybe some of the other promoters will branch out.
There you go. You hear that, Mr. Vargas? What about Prescott?
I know.
It's a nice room up there. Let's move on. D1 are information reports. Is our information reports. D1 is our 2020 event schedule. Mr. Manassas.
So this was not attached to your packet. I'll be sending this out later separately to the commission. This was still being updated. Obviously, with the holidays and me being out sick, I haven't been able to fully update the calendar, but I have it pretty much locked in. So just to kind of run through, just so you guys know, we did have a scheduled event for January 18th. That was supposed to be Thunderbolt Boxing. Thunderbolt Boxing is requesting to postpone again. I sent you guys an email just to carbon copy you guys on the email I sent to Thunderbolt. I'm letting them know that's disappointing that we are once again postponing their first event and that we're not going to waive their fee again. And also that if we continue to postpone their events, the commission may determine to deny future requests because I believe this is number 4 now and they still not had the first event. So it's kind of getting a little bit ridiculous without their planning correctly. Otherwise, our first event will be Iron Boy on February 8th. It'll be Iron Boy Boxing. And then we have Rough MMA on the 15th at the Glendale Civic Center. And on February 22nd, we have WFF at Celebrity. And then after that, we have so far, almost every single month has at least 2 events, if not 3 or 4. The big one we have coming for March would be LFA on March 20th. And that's the nearest big event we have. But we are obviously with Bellator looking at some dates and Matchroom looking at coming back. And I haven't heard about Top Rank.
Very good. Thank you.
I'll send this out to you guys, though, by the end of today.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner, any thoughts about our schedule?
No, Mr. Chairman. I do have a question for Mr. Manassas.
Sure.
Mr. Manassas, the LFA event was postponed to this March date. Is there any indication that the March date would not fly?
No. The reason it was postponed before was a production issue. The network did not have availability to air on the time slot that they wanted, so that's why they postponed. So they're fully committed, and they've already started moving forward. They're already starting to build the card and to start making contacts, and they've already booked the venue. So we do anticipate the March event going on without any hiccups.
Great. The only reason I asked is because I will be in Utah and may travel down to see that. So
very nice.
But thank you very much.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I have nothing else.
Thank you.
Call of the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner. You did mention something I find of interest. Matchroom, looking at dates?
Yeah, so Matchroom did say they would definitely come back. They would like to try to do at least another 2. They did tell me that at the night of the event on December 20th, they did try to book February for Mikey Garcia event. However, the venue was booked. So they were already trying to come back within about 2 months. So we are hoping that within the first quarter at least, they'll be looking to make another return.
Let's stay on them.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I have to do. That was really impressive. Except for my dry cleaning bill.
Right.
It was impressive too.
Right.
Commissioner, I don't know if you saw how that went down, but Kelly and I were chatting earlier about the beverages we were wearing out of the building. It was exciting, to say the least. The good news is everyone got out of there moist.
Yeah. And you know, I went to the press conference with Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn to listen, and the question of the crowd for that event did come up, and Eddie said he didn't condone the behavior, but also understood that it was a reflecting of the passion of the boxing fans and the disappointment of the result. They weren't upset at the commission at all. The fans were upset with who the local favorite was, which was Mr. Chavez, and so Matchroom said they would not use that to influence their decision to return. They're looking at the ticket sale numbers, and once again, when they first initially had announced they're looking at coming to Arizona in October, they were looking at a venue of about 5,000, and this was close to an 11,000 sellout crowd with approximately, I think, 2,000 in walk-ups. So that was a significant number of walk-ups.
Mm-hmm. No, it was a great success.
Well,
Commissioner.
Where was it held? Where was it held?
Oh, is it Talking Stick,
yeah.
where the Suns play? I'm sorry,
Okay,
there's always,
okay, yeah.
you have to explain
Yeah,
that every
right,
time.
right.
But 48 hours before we started, we didn't know who was on the card, and neither did anyone in the ticket buying public. So to sell 11,000 seats on short notice,
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn a few times about it, and he was stunned, quite frankly. We almost sold the room out. Well, we sold the available seats out, and it happened very quickly. So I can see him wanting to get back here in a hurry. We'll wear tarps or something next time, Kelly, okay?
Sounds good.
We'll bring raincoats.
I've got some disposable ponchos that we can.
Yep, you're going to need them. Bring 2 or 3. It was a great success on many different levels. Mr. Vargas was very helpful in helping another promoter put on a card. The promoter was really impressed with the commission as a whole and how we handled the entire thing, and had to be really impressed with the Phoenix Fight fans and their willingness to buy tickets at the last minute and show up in droves. So, yeah, I know it's the biggest, it's the largest attendance they've ever had in America.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to get them back.
It'll happen.
What are the Suns
Yeah.
playing on February 20th or something? It's always the Suns.
Yeah, there's something going on. It's right before March Madness, isn't it? So it's.
Oh, yeah.
The date. What? Yeah.
You know, Robert Sarver was sitting with us. He's there. Maybe he can cancel that Suns game, right? Get out of the way, Sarver. That's fantastic news. Thank you. And if there's any way we can help cozy up the Matchroom, let us know, because they've really put on a first-class show, and I was very impressed. Although those doors opened at 3, didn't they?
Yeah.
And what time did Chavez refuse to go? Was that at 10 at night?
It was at 9:30ish was
Okay.
the start of that bout.
So some of those folks have been sitting there for 6.5 hours
Drinking.
enjoying beverages. Yeah, so it was ripe for something like that to happen.
That's probably why they threw them. They were just full. They
Couldn't finish
yeah,
their
they couldn't
drinks.
finish them.
That's why they threw them.
They had nothing
Yeah,
else to do with them. So yeah.
they just have great manners. Is
Yeah.
what they have. Huh? Okay, great. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the year. There's some good stuff brewing. Let's press on. D1 is our commission meeting schedule for the year.
D2, yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
yep, so that's, we've already gone to the last 2 meetings. We showed you guys the tentative schedule. That's now locked in. If there's any date issues, please let us know. Otherwise, that is the schedule we're moving with forward, and that is in coordination with the Racing Commission meetings as well. Hopefully, we'll figure the conference line out for the future. I made myself a note. Maybe we can look at getting an independent conference line so that we're not having to worry about 4 different agencies, 4 different divisions within one agency sharing a conference line.
Well, we got more attendance than we've ever had at a meeting, right?
Yeah, I think there's about 34 beeps on it.
And bored them to tears. So they left quickly. Thank you. Let's press on. E is the call to the commission. Commissioner Pennington, is there something you would love to chat about?
No, Mr. Chairman, I've already made all of the inappropriate comments that I could think of.
That's why we love you. That's why we've got you here. I too have nothing else to share, and I'm going to press on.
I'm just going to add one thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Meneses, sorry.
So kind of going back, we were talking about the Matchroom thing and the crowd that night. So there was an article that came out recently, in about last week or so. I believe Carolyn is the one who sent it out to me, in which, or actually I sent it to her, in which it was boxing related, and it talked about how boxing is starting to now look at other states that are in play versus the primary big house states before of New York, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and California. They're starting to see that there's obviously other states such as Arizona in play, and actually Phoenix was actually given a nod in that article, talking once again about the Chavez bout, but saying that it showed the kind of passion, the kind of fans that we have here. And so it, if you read the article, it's kind of just alluding that Arizona is one of the prime markets, and we're very close to Vegas. And so hopefully that article, as well as the success of the event and the more local events we have and the more bigger outside events we have, that'll just hopefully help continue to grow our commission and the notoriety around the country for the sport of boxing here in Arizona.
Absolutely. Well, you all did just a fantastic job with that last card, and a big moment will be the next Matchroom card we do.
Yeah.
That'll be a big moment, so whatever we can do to get there. Well, I'd love to see that article.
Yeah, okay, I'll forward it to you.
If you would, please,
Yeah,
to myself and Commissioner Pennington, if you would.
Sure thing.
Perfect, thank you. F is a call to the public. Would anyone in the public like to chat with us? Please come up, Roel. Please identify yourself. We'll ask you keep it to 5 minutes.
That'll be less than that. I'm Raul, I'm a licensee. My friend Daniel moved to Arizona. I work with him in New Mexico and California. He's an emergency room doctor, and speaks perfect Spanish, grew up in Phoenix. He's was a state wrestling champion as a youth, and he's a high-ranking black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Good competitor, but he was involved in MMA from the beginning. So he's now over here, and tell him anything that he did not say.
Okay.
And please speak up. You're speaking into this
I am.
speakerphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name's Dr. Daniel Reese. I'm only licensed in California at the time. I grew up in Tempe, went to McClintock High School, went to University of Arizona, where I did chemical engineering. Then I went to medical school afterwards. What can I say? I worked the first 10 years of MMA in California, all through the 2000s. And then I got so busy at night in intensive care, I quit working the fights. So it's been 10 years. It was 10 years ago. I've been doing intensive care the last 10 years. And I work during the day in an industrial clinic, where I'm also an MRO, where we do drug testing. I'm in charge of the drug testing during the day shift.
Well, Mr. Reese, if only your resume was appropriate for what we do around here. And you wrestled in high school, too, did you not?
McClintock, yes.
Uh-huh. Very good. We're excited to have you around.
Thank
You have a great friend in Raul who can get you up to speed on what we do, but we need all folks like you on board, and your resume is impeccable. So welcome.
Thank you. But there are some obstacles. What was your name?
Francisco.
Yeah, he was telling me about insurance obstacles.
There always are, but we always make our way through that for us, too. Thanks so much,
Thank you for your
Doctor.
time.
Take care. Anyone else want to chat? Yes, Mr. Pond.
I just want to share a brief news that just reset. It's actually today the International Olympic Committee actually got a meeting, and Chinese martial arts is official program of youth Olympics in 2022 in Africa.
Wow.
So basically now Sanda, as part of that, is Olympic sport.
Wow.
There we go. Breaking news.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Pond. Appreciate it. Anyone else?
Manny? No?
All right. We're going to get you back into a bed, and
Yes.
you need to hydrate.
Yes.
That's what my mom would say.
Drinking.
G is the announcement that the next regularly scheduled commission meeting will be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, February the 12th, 2020, which leads us to the specter of a possible adjournment. Commissioner, is there a motion for such by chance?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
We have a motion. I will second that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Commissioner, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing
You're
you at some
welcome.
point.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care now.